The proper role of a prosecutor is not to win a case, but to see that justice shall be done, to assure that guilt shall not escape, nor innocence suffer. In 1934, Supreme Court Justice Benjamin Cardozo stated that justice, though due to the accused, is due to the accuser also. We are to keep the balance true. Historically, this balance has not been achieved in the prosecution of sexual violence. Prosecutors are constantly working to improve our response to sexual violence. Prosecutors strive to be leaders in the effort to improve the response of the criminal justice system as a whole, to promote safety and healing for victims, to hold offenders justly accountable, and to make our communities safer. To those ends, they collaborate with allied professionals to coordinate their efforts and close gaps in the system. They utilize and enhance specialized resources and training opportunities, and they implement promising new practices while refining established ones. But how are prosecutors actually doing? How do they measure their progress? How do we know whether they are succeeding in their efforts to improve their handling of sexual assault cases? How do they know if victims are feeling heard? The high level of dedication and expertise that prosecutors bring to their jobs can make it difficult to accept and understand the perceptions of others, allied professionals, victims, members of the community, the media, that their practices and performance could be improved. There is a very human tendency to tune out or to reject negative observations from these sources, attributing such criticisms to misinformation disseminated by others or to failure on the part of these sources to understand the legal or practical limitations within which prosecutors must work. While misinformation and misunderstanding may in fact at times be the root of the problem, there must be a willingness on prosecutors' part to consider the possibility that the criticism is valid. Moreover, to the extent such criticisms are a matter of misunderstanding or miscommunication, this suggests that communication, collaboration, and education should be improved so that perceptions are more aligned with reality. Or it may suggest that work could be done to remove or remedy some of the practical and sometimes even the legal obstacles that stand in the way of prosecutors' ability to provide the level of justice to which they aspire. As leaders in the criminal justice community, prosecutors are well positioned to promote and facilitate cooperation and coordination among allied professionals to the benefit of all. While the justice system is a critical component of a comprehensive response to sexual violence, many victims do not view it as an appropriate vehicle for resolving their experience of violence. 2/3 of victims of sexual assault do not even report their assault to police for reasons ranging from fear, embarrassment, loyalty towards the perpetrator, or a belief that the criminal justice system cannot or will not help them. Additional research shows that one of the most enduring realities of sexual assault is that very few cases result in arrest, prosecution, and conviction of perpetrators. Regardless of prosecutors' intent to do good and their belief in the strength of their office's practice, both direct and indirect research across the country reveals that reporting rates, arrest rates, prosecution rates, and conviction rates for crimes of sexual violence are overall staggeringly low. Reconciling reasons for the disparity in reports of sexual assault and actual prosecutions requires a deeper examination of an office's practice. What is the difference between these rates? Is law enforcement failing to investigate or refer cases for prosecution? Are officers exceptionally clearing these cases based on perception about downstream decision-making? Are cases being referred to prosecution, but then declined based on inadequate or inaccurately analyzed investigations? Are the declinations indicative of unsupportable reports, insufficiencies of available evidence, or barriers created by the law? Or are triable cases being declined for some other reason? Equitas sought to help jurisdictions answer these questions and give them the tools to transform their response through the Sexual Assault Justice Initiative. We created a system for gaining insight into data and developing a meaningful set of measures that ensure the implementation of best practices, the equity of case outcomes, the accountability of offenders, the inclusion of victims' experiences, and the overall effectiveness of the interventions. Equitas, in partnership with the Justice Management Institute and the Urban Institute, piloted these practices in 7 diverse jurisdictions, which revealed the steps necessary for improvement and scalability to achieve victim-centered justice. These practices are documented in the 3-volume Model Response to Sexual Violence for Prosecutors and on this website.